with Darrell Thompson. I am Jeff Grayson. Hutchinson has just kicked off to Owatonna. I don't know if you call that an onside kick, more like a line drive. Jeff Bowers on the tackle, Jacob Sleater on the tackle, I'm sorry. Ball was picked up by Jeff Bowers. So Owatonna with great field position to start the game. We'll set it up for you. Owatonna is the home team. They're in blue. Hutchinson will be considered the away team. They're in white. So it'll be 1st and 10. Good field position, 37-yard line.
Kind of like to start right out there.
That's Tim Nierengarten, throwing for 8 touchdowns for the Huskies. Completed just under 50% of his passes. That's Corey Urban, the leading running back, the leading rusher for the Huskies. Nearly 1,400 yards this year. He's a junior. 15 touchdowns on the season.
That was a good run by Corey. There's really nowhere to go there. The Hutchinson defense, they kind of stuffed it up there.
There are the backs and receivers: Nierengarten, Urban, Walter, Hagan, and Butler Ross. Nisus and Mike Worth on the offensive line. We'll give you the Hutchinson players in a moment. Loss of 1 on the play. You were right. Hutch shut that one down. Nierengarten back to pass. Man open across the 40. Kevin Walter. He might be about a yard short of a first down. Awfully close.
Good catch there by Walter.
Here are the Hutchinson players: McKittrick, Backham, Marvin, Dahlman, and Doherty. Irvin, Thody, Emmons, Schleter, Rosenau, and Christensen round out the secondary. Third and 1. They were 1 yard short on the completion. Well, Nierengarten hit the turf. Owatonna crosses the 50 on the handoff. As Urban got in there. Rosenau making the tackle. Christensen in there also. I'm sorry, that was Scala. 1st and 10, Owatonna. Ball at the 49-yard line. Just underway in the Class 4A championship. Scala and Urban right behind Nierengarten, the quarterback. Here's the pitch. Urban gets by 1 tackler, but Hutchinson drives him back. This Hutchinson defense, Darrell, the numbers are impressive. They're giving up 8 points a game this year. Defensive team.
Oh, they're real solid. They did a good job there at stopping the play. Scala did a good job earlier, hopping out there and picking up that first down, and looked like they just kind of stopped him there.
See Metzger, Irvin, another loss. Well, in the early going, Owatonna having a hard time running. Nierengarten will throw it again, wide open. Kevin Walter, familiar target, inside the 40. Should be enough for a first down. Well, I guess if you can't run, you throw.
Well, Nierengarten likes throwing that ball over to Kevin Walter, and he's done a good job for him so far today. Drops back in the pocket. Hits him. He bobbles a little bit. He does good job of bringing it in and picking up a first down.
Walter wide open. Got 2 receptions in the early going. 1st and 10, Huskies. Ball at the 39. Hutchinson, number 1 ranked team in Class 4A. Huskies that time, they get close to the 35-yard line. Matt Scala.
That's good running by Matt Scala. He's a very solid runner, and you can definitely see it running against that tough defense. He put it up in there and picked up about 4 good yards.
Chris Davis makes the tackle. Second and 7 at the 36-yard line. Just over 3 minutes into the 4A championship. You see the 2 running backs tucked right behind Nierengarten. This time, it is Scala again across the 30 before he's gang tackled by the Tigers.
Scala's doing a good job running that ball. He's just got to give it off to him. Tim Nierengarten's doing a good job.
Mike Christensen in there on the tackle. It's second. It was second and 7 from the 36. You see the running right here.
See, Mascala goes both ways, plays fullback and also plays a little bit of linebacker.
Now, when you were in high school, did you go both ways?
No, what? I started out going both ways a little bit, and I kind of got a little winded out there, trying to play both ways. Sometimes you get a little bit too pooped to pop, as my coach said, and I ended up just playing offense.
Well, it can be warm inside this dome, too, as you know. In our next game, we've got some players who go both ways, too. 1st and 10 at the 29. Nierengarten, handoff. That's Urban this time. He spins before he's met by the Hutchinson defenders just shy of the 25-yard line. That was Corey Urban right there, a junior. 1,379 yards, 15 touchdowns coming in. John Marvin making the tackle.
That's a good lead back by Scala, and a good job of Urban following his block back up in there and picking up a good yardage.
Well, they give him 4. It's 2nd and 6. Ball marked at the 25-yard line. There you see the numbers on Corey Urban. He's not the biggest back, but his numbers are impressive. You can't argue with the results. This time it's Scala. Nierengarten fakes the pass. He's across the 25-yard line.
Going back to that Hutchinson defense, they're very solid, and they bend, but they don't break.
The Tigers' Scott Walling making the tackle. You see him there. Well, 3rd and 4, ball at the 23-yard line. Scott off to a good start. Well, I was looking at you look at some of the numbers, sometimes you can be guilty of looking at them too much, but Hutchinson has outscored their opponents 114-7 in the first quarter this year. They're not used to getting scored on.
That's a powerful team. That's a sign. A lot of strength.
Nierengarten hit as he throws. I didn't get a signal that his arm was in motion. If that's a fumble, the Huskies recovered it anyway.
Looks like they might. Looks like his arm might have been in motion. They're gonna mark it incomplete.
Coming from his blind side right here, Darrell, Kyle McKittrick.
Looked like he was trying to get rid of it, and they threw it, and looks like it's going to be incomplete.
So it goes to 4th and 5. Ball on the 24-yard line. This close, the Huskies will go. Nierengarten looking downfield, rolling out, man open. One-handed catch. Corey Urban. It's trying to be Chris Carter.
Oh, that was a fabulous catch right there. I can see the quarterback roll out like that and still make a good pass. It's hard to throw when you're running out towards the receiver. He did a great job there, and it's a great job by Corey Urban bringing that ball in.
Here it is again. What a catch.
That's just a great job right there. Great job. Great catch by Corey.
They just saw it on the Jumbotron here at the Dome. 1st and 10, 13-yard line. Not much there for Matt Scala. He is stopped by the Tigers.
That Hutchinson defense is very strong in the middle. Very strong in the middle. Seems like they've been doing a lot better when they try it out there at the flanks. Nierengarten's 3 for 3 with 32 yards on this drive.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Well, you mentioned the success through the air. The Huskies have done well keeping them off balance with those passes, but the Tigers' defense has been tough stopping the run. 2nd and 10, no gain. Nierengarten looking left side. Man open near the goal line. He didn't get in. Mike Lundstrom. Jacob Schlueter made the tackle, but Mike Lundstrom, who caught the game winner against St. Thomas Academy in the semis, got that one, and it's 1st and goal.
Well, I just like the way Nierengarten spreads that ball around. He's using everybody. He's using his halfback, he's using his receivers, and he's patient in the pocket, and he gets that ball out there, and young man does a great job.
Reaching to the 1-yard line, Mike Lundstrom, and Darrell mentioned the numbers earlier. Nierengarten batting 1,000 so far. 1st and goal from the 1. He'll sneak it in. The arms go up. Touchdown, Owatonna. Tim Nierengarten from a yard out, and it's 6-0. Nice drive.
That was a really nice drive. Nierengarten probably 4 for 4. Picked up about 44 yards passing through the air that time. The Hutchinson defense looked really strong up the middle there, but at the end, he was able to sneak it in here. We'll take a second look at it. Just power their way in there. They say when the offensive linemen score, the quarterback's going to score, and that's where they did it.
Rob Donahue. A high snap here. I don't know if they'll be able to salvage anything here. Donahue picks it up. He's tackled by a couple of Tigers at the 25, so it's 6-0. 6-0 Owatonna, an impressive drive. Darrell and I will be back with more. You're watching the 4A Championship on UPN 9. Scoreboard, Owatonna with an impressive drive. Darrell Nierengarten capped it off.
Yeah, he did a great job right there. 4 for 4, 42 yards, and putting the ball in there in the quarterback sneak.
14 plays, 63 yards. They started with nice field position after the short kickoff. Nierengarten capped it off. And here's the kickoff. Now we'll see what the Tigers can do. Ball is fumbled. Hutchinson recovered it. It looked like Ryan Caping had trouble with the handle. He got it back before he was smacked.
Hutch might be a little bit rattled. I think they haven't been scored on this year, averaging 7 points a game or 8 points a game, something like that. It's hard. You know, you're not used to being scored on. You're used to being the dominated. And when you come down and get dominated like that, it can make things a little bit difficult.
Nate Lieferman made the hit. It is 1st and 10 at the 21 for the Hutchinson Tigers. And we have a third member in our booth for right now. This is an honor. The governor-elect, Jesse Ventura, is joining us. Governor-elect, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Jeff. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thanks.
You're an Iron Man. You're doing these all day long. I'll tell you what. You got to be tough to do that. Not even Daryl Thompson could do that.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Well, we've had Roger Buxton here, too. Well, first, as there's a shot of the governor-elect. If you lean down a little bit, you can see.
How you doing out there? We're getting ready. We're in the 5A game, so I'm here a little bit early, so I'm not going to stay too long. I got to get down with my football team.
Well, let's talk football for a second while we've got you here, because I know you have to talk politics a lot, too. Your team, what has been the key to get you here? You beat some tough teams to get to this point.
Well, I think that's what gets you here. You know, the Twin City North is just a rugged football conference. If you look in the 5A, 3 of the final 8 teams were in the finals of the state. You know, the top 8, and heck, Blaine could have made it too, but they had to play us.
You know, if you want to be king of the mountain, you got to beat the kings of the hills. And Woodbury and you both beat the teams that have been in the finals the last 2 years. What about Kayvon Shear, John Stock? What an offense you have.
They're very good. Plus, we got some big, strong. Whoa.
That ball was nearly stripped. Hutchinson did a great job hanging on to it. Joe Butler in there on the play. As Scott Kirchhoff having a heck of a time right now. And it'll be 4th down for Hutchinson.
Jeff, we may have an upset in the making here because Owatonna's come to play and they're dominating right now. Hutchinson unbeaten, and right now Owatonna's the better football team on the field.
And here's a look at the play right there. Kirchhoff with a bunch of blue shirts in his face. It's 4th and 8 at the 23. An impressive start here by the Huskies as we have the punt here, and we'll get back to talking with the governor-elect here in just a moment. Here's the Hutchinson punt, so they actually gained 2 yards on that possession. That is it. Taking it is Kevin Walter. We saw him on the receiving end, and he makes a nice return to about the 37. Owatonna coming out fired up. We'll be back with Governor-elect Ventura and Daryl Thompson in a moment. You're watching the 4A Championship on the Menard Scoreboard. Fans may be losing their shirts, but they're not losing this game right now. What a start.
Oh, it's been outstanding. Owatonna's really come out to play.
Here's where they're from, not too far away from the Twin Cities. Hutchinson against Owatonna. Hutchinson #1 ranked in 4A. Owatonna unranked, but throw it out the window because they're here at Prep Bowl 17. And Governor-elect Ventura has joined us up here for a few moments. This Champlin Park Rebels getting set for the 5A game. And there is Corey Urban breaking tackles near midfield.
Great job by the Owatonna offensive line, giving Urban some room to run there. Just a little trap play. They run off tackle, and Urban gets upfield, breaks some tackles. And we take another look at it.
John Marvin made the tackle. You got to like this, watching a running back operate.
I love it. I like to see that linebacker, fullback up there leading the way for Corey, too. It's a good back, though.
Well, you know, Governor-elect, you are no stranger to the broadcast booth in this sport. You used to do the Viking games.
I did Tampa for 2 years and the Vikings for you. In fact, I used to see Darryl in Green Bay.
Sure. What is this perspective like as opposed to when you're seeing it down there on the field?
Well, you get a lot better look from up here, no doubt about it. You get a better to see what's actually going on. When you're down at field level, you don't get the perspective you do up here.
I think a lot of concerned fans last week at the semifinal, the health of Joe Abel. How is he?
Well, right now, I don't know. I coached on Wednesday, and it was still up in the air whether Joe would play or not. We certainly hope he gets the go-ahead. I'm not a doctor, but I think he just dehydrated and kind of fainted out there. And but they did put him on some heart monitor stuff to check if he had a skipping heartbeat, and I hope he's playing tonight. We need him.
2nd and 8 from the 48. Nierengarten, he's rolling. He's got a clear path. He hangs onto it. Into Hutchinson territory, knocked out of bounds by Mike Christensen. Nierengarten doing it running and throwing.
He's got to do a little bit of everything, and he's doing a good job tonight. You know, it actually looked like he was trying to pass the ball there, but he saw that open territory and decided, I'm just going to keep it and run and pick up this first down and try to knock Hutch out of the picture here.
Here it is. He goes around to his left.
Yeah, because he's waving people on right there, saying, hey, I'm just going to hold on to this ball and pick up the first down.
Jesse, what has this month been like? I mean, the beginning of the month, you shocked the state and the world, and now the end of the month, your team's in the state title.
How could I ask for anything better? It's been unbelievable. It's a dream.
1st and 10 at the 35. Owatonna, he's coming out fired up here. Corey Urban to his right. Nice tackle there in the open field. Colin Emmons making the stop on Urban.
You know, Jeff, a lot of people don't realize, you know, Joe Abel, the kid we got injured right now that we don't know if he'll play on, he was 2 weeks late to practice this year. You know why?
No.
He was fighting in the National Golden Gloves Championship.
Is that right?
Oh, he's a tough kid.
What do you say as coaches? I mean, both of you have been around high school sports. When you're a part of something like this, what do you tell them as far as motivating, or do you back off? What's the approach?
We tell them to have fun. That's the main thing, is they've made it here, have fun.
Nierengarten found Urban, who was smacked right away by Jake Schlueter. Nice hit there.
That's a good catch, but it's also a good play by Jake coming up there and popping that guy and making him so he couldn't pick up that first down and making him trying to do something here on 3rd and 3.
That's what we've got now, as you see Schlueter, a senior. He put the hit on 3rd and 3 at the 28. Well, you've been around pro sports, both of you. You've been around the prep sports. What is the difference like? I'll tell you what, we'll talk about that in a moment. We're going to take a break on the Menard scoreboard. Then we'll talk with Darrell and Governor-elect Ventura in a moment. Yes, Governor-elect Jesse Ventura. This is Jeff Grayson from the Metrodome. Say hello to everybody at the Dome here, part of the 4A championship. A big play for both teams here. 3rd and 3 from the 28. Nierengarten, Scala, second effort, got him near the 25. That's going to be close.
That's some good hard running. I don't know if he picked it up or not there, but I have to give some credit to the offensive line. And Scala, just his second effort there. That was excellent. He's shaking his head like he didn't pick it up, but there's a chance. They might as well bring it out and measure.
I'll tell you, the key right now is Owatonna's wearing out the Hutchinson defense right now. They're controlling the football, and as it gets later in this game, that Hutchinson D is going to get tired.
Good point. Good point.
That is a good point. What about being in this dome? Both of you guys have been around this. I mean, it's warm outside. It gets hot down there, doesn't it?
It gets real hot, you know, but I think the main thing is it's not going to be hot. It's not as many fans as a Gopher Viking game, but with these TV timeouts we were talking about earlier, that can give those guys that are two-way starters a nice
I'm not
blow.
sure, Darrell. The past couple years, it might rival the Gophers here.
Oh, come on now.
1st and 10 at the 25. I hope you're having as much fun listening to this as I am. This is great. 1st and 10 at the 25. They got enough on the run. Nierengarten in the coverage, nearly picked off. Risky pass there.
That was a little bit risky. He had his receiver open over there over the top, but he didn't decide to go to him. But he did a good job. He's sitting in there and throwing it. Might have been a little risky, but it was low. And if you're going to throw the ball late over the middle, you definitely need to throw it low so it doesn't get a chance to get tipped up in the air and intercepted.
Scott Walling on the coverage. Ross Moret was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10 at the 25 as we see the replay here.
Yeah, you can see it again there. It was definitely double covered. It's probably, if he had to take it back, he wouldn't throw it again, but if we could take a lot of things back, we'd change things in our life all the time.
2nd and 10 at the 25. Nierengarten with those two running backs right behind him. There's one of them, Urban. Not this time. Nick Bockham put him down.
Good job by Nick. That offense that Owatonna's playing, that really tight offense, that lets Hutchinson play a really compact defense, and it's tough. They don't get him spread out to run that little quick pitch out here I've been seeing all day. You don't really send a lead blocker out there. You just try to outflank the defense really quick like that. And with them that tight and compact out there, it gives them a good run at that back. No lead blocker.
Jesse, does all this bring back memories of your days at Roosevelt?
Well, my days, we didn't have dome, and there were no playoffs back then. That's how old I am, Jeff. Back then, you could only win the city title, and then you played the champion of St. Paul for the Twin City title. I had a great team, though. We finished 9-0-1, and we were the Twin City champions, and that's as far as you could go in the days that I played.
We'll be back with more. It's Owatonna leading 6-0 after 1. You're watching Press Bowl. We thank Governor-elect Jesse Ventura for joining us. A volunteer assistant coach for the Champlain Park Rebels. Lower getting set for Woodbury in the 5A game with Daryl Thompson, Jeff Grayson at the Dome. Tim Niergarten back to pass on 3rd and 12, but it's batted away. Nice defense there. Jake Schleter batted it down.
Jake Schleter's doing a good job. That was a good job of coming over the top and not interfering with Corey. Corey's one of the main receivers. I think he's kind of got an idea about that, and Jake did a good job of coming over the top, as we can see here.
Yep.
And not really getting a hand on Corey. He kind of tapped him, but it's football. You got to let boys be boys.
Yeah, I always hear you got to keep that other hand hidden if you use it all, right?
Yeah.
You got to be strategic. Well, 4th and 12. I guess at this part of the field, why not go for it? Fake to Urban. Niergarten buying time. He's under pressure. Evades one tackler. Run out of bounds. About 4 yards short of the first down.
That was a good job by the Hutchinson secondary. They just didn't give him anywhere to throw the ball. They stepped up, and then when he decided to run out of the pocket, they did a good job of coming up and knocking him out of bounds, and they get the ball back.
Paul Rosano and Chris Davis in there on the hit. So Hutchinson toughening up here a little bit. They'll take over at the 20-yard line. As you see the play there. Oh, how about the publicity that the governor-elect has brought to the land of 10,000 lakes?
Oh, yeah, people have been calling me from all over the country.
Let's set up the Hutchinson lineup. Scott Kirchhoff, Chris Davis, the leading rusher for the Tigers. Gillespie, Backham, Kosek, Dolzal, and Schmidt on the offensive line.
Tyke Hutchinson's trying to do a little bit of the same thing, trying to bash that ball down their throats and just take care of things.
Let's set up the D in a moment. There's Moret, Hagan, Nices, Mikeworth, and Schweisthal on a long pass completion for Hutch. The Tigers past the 40-yard line. Caping made the play. He's had 35 receptions for 640 yards coming in. Matt Scala, who we just saw on offense, made the tackle. Chris Davis, the leading rusher for Hutchinson. Close to 1,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, and all Metro pick. Kirchhoff making the completion. That's
Hutchinson's first pass attempt of the game. Owatonna's had the time of possession. They've had the ball for about 9 minutes, and Hutchinson only had it for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. That just goes to show you that you got to have the ball to score.
1st and 10, ball at the 42. That was Chris Davis. Mentioned nearly 1,600 yards coming into this game. Ryan Caping with 11 touchdowns, 262 yards. He got 2 there, 2nd and 8 at the 44. And then you have Matt Thody, who had 12 touchdowns. So between 3 running backs coming into this game, 47 touchdowns.
Wow. Yeah, they got some good backs, and they spread it around a little bit. There's not one guy you can really key on back there.
Well, let's see if Hutchinson starts to wake up after a sluggish first quarter. Kirchhoff, 3 steps, complete. Tim Thody. He had 6 receiving touchdowns coming in. And he's into Owatonna territory now.
I like what Hutchinson's doing here. They're not panicking. They're doing a good job. The quarterback's taking his time, making good decisions, and the running backs are still banging it up in there and picking up yards. They got to realize they're only 6 points behind, and they're still in this game. It's still really early.
Matt Scala with a good short tackle there on Tim Thody. 34 catches for 668 yards coming into this game. 1st and 10, ball at the 45. Hutchinson on the move now. Davis in motion. Play action right away. They hit Tim Thody again, breaking a tackle near the 20-yard line.
Very well conceived play by Hutchinson. They brought their running back in motion. It's been doing a good job. Look over at him to draw the defense over there. Then they run Thody right up the middle and hit him right up the seam. That's a very, very well conceived play and a good discipline by the Hutchinson offense. He even lost his shoe there, and he kept on trucking.
You know, I notice that a lot at this place. A lot of running backs lose their shoes.
I just think they're young, they're excited, and they're not used to playing on this turf. It's a whole different league. I know that those guys got those elbows protected today, but you can still lose a little skin.
Doty came out, but it's a 1st and 10 ball at the 20-yard line. Hutchinson putting a nice drive together here. Chris Davis with a burst of speed. He may score. Touchdown, Hutchinson.
Wow, that was a good run. That was a really good run. That was good blocking by the Hutchinson offensive line and a great run by Doty. Was that Doty on that run?
I believe it's Chris Davis scoring. Here it is.
Yeah. Did a good job of getting close to the line of scrimmage before he made his decision, and then just outran everybody there at the end and squeezed in the end zone.
You saw him hit the pylon there, a 20-yard run on 1st and 10, and all of a sudden we're tied up after the quick start by Owatonna. Hutchinson has come back. Colin Emmons will try to give Hutchinson the lead. Don't forget, there was the high snap on the Owatonna extra point. It is good. So the #1 ranked Tigers put together a drive that showed why. They lead 7-6. 9:26 left in the second on the Buick Dealers scoreboard.
Chris Davis on the sideline. That was a really good run by him there. We'll take another look at it. Does a good job of getting close to the line of scrimmage. When I say that, that doesn't give the defense a good chance to get up there and take a read on what he's doing in the angles, and it makes it really difficult for them to pick him up, and he just does a good job of running there.
Well, there's how they did it. 21 yards, 6 plays, 80 yards. They didn't waste time. 2:20 time of possession. It's 7-6 Hutchinson. KMSP Television has purchased the broadcast rights to the 1998 Minnesota State High School Prep Bowl. No broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and account of this copyrighted telecast is permitted without the written authority of KMSP Television and the Minnesota State High School League. There's the kickoff. Owatonna will be in good shape field position-wise around the 32-yard line.
Another short kickoff. That was a good job by them catching the ball and not letting Hutchinson come down and knock the snot out of them and possibly have a fumble or something like that. When you have those short kickoffs, it can get a little dangerous sometimes.
Adam Caping and Paul Rosano on the tackle of Jeff Bowers. See Rosano staying in the game on defense, and we'll see what Tim Nierengarten and company can do. They were kind of stymied the last time they had the ball.
Yeah, they slowed down a little bit here, but I think that they definitely have something for Hutchinson.
Plenty of time left in the first half. A 7-6 ball game. We've had some good ones here. Prep Bowl 17. Handoff coming around is Urban spinning. Kind of does those spins, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a good knack for that, but there wasn't a whole lot of room there. They tried to run that trap they had success with earlier, and I think Hutchinson's ready for it. They've kind of sniffed it out, and they get used to seeing those sets, and hopefully Owatonna will figure something else out here because they've kind of got this play diagnosed.
John Marvin and B.J. Irvin in there. Adam Caping got in there at the very end. 2nd and 8 at the 35, a pickup of just 2. I'm curious if we see Nierengarten spread the field again, like you were saying in the first quarter, the way he was throwing the ball. He'll roll. He's got time, plenty of time, going long for his favorite target, Walter. It's incomplete.
That's all right. You know, sometimes you got to do that. You got to get it out there and spread those guys out and make them think about something else. You keep running those traps and those quick hitters. Eventually, they kind of sniff it out. It's 3rd and long right here, so they're probably going to have to spread it out again. I think he had a receiver open there, but just kind of overthrew the ball a little bit.
3rd and 8, ball at the 35-yard line. After that quick start, you saw the stats before. Owatonna, total yards is getting close here. Nierengarten back to pass again, lofts it up, and he overthrew his target, Mike Lundstrom.
I think Mike Lundstrom was open there. He just didn't. He just overthrew the ball a little bit. Sometimes you get a little bit excited or a little bit angry. He had a little trouble on his last pass, and sometimes that kind of can carry over to the next play.
Colin Emmons in on the coverage, and so it's 3 and out for the Huskies. The Tiger defense does the job.
Yeah, after completing his first 5 passes, Nierengarten is 0 for 4 on his last 4 attempts.
Adam Caping and Ryan Caping back to receive the punt from Owatonna. Low snap. It's handled just fine by Travis Eric. Whoa! Ball's loose! Owatonna's got it! Jeff Bowers on the muff.
That's what you call being in the right place at the right time. You got to handle those when you get down there. I think that happened in a game earlier today.
So Owatonna is in business, and we'll be back in a moment. It'll be Husky ball off the fumble. 7-6 Hutchinson on the Buick Dealers scoreboard.
Day 82.
This can play a big role. Here's one right here.
I think Ryan needs to be a little bit more decisive in his attempt to field the punt. You know, he kind of played around back there a little bit, and I think he just jockeyed, and then he saw those people bearing down on him, and then it was kind of too late. He bounced off his face mask, and now Owatonna's on the 21-yard line going in.
Jeff Bowers made the play. You can't advance a punt. He would have scored, but you can't advance it. Here's Corey Urban, and spinning near the 15-yard line.
So that little trap lead that they've been running all day long, and they stymied one the last series with it, but it looks like they picked up about 5 yards right there on it.
B.J. Irvin and Kyle McKittrick making the tackle. As you see Ryan Caping. I know he'd like to get a chance to atone for his mistake. 4 yards on the carry by Urban. 2nd and 6 at the 17. First man through is Scala. To near the 13 goes Matt Scala. Adam Caping makes the tackle, and Jesse Doherty.
Good hard running there by Scala. It's out there to pick a couple yards up, and Hutchins defense doing a good job still holding them on the run. They've had some success, Owatonna, with the run, but they really haven't tore through Hutchinson with their running attack today.
Jesse Doherty hobbling off. You saw him there. Grady Rosberg. This is his last game. We haven't really gotten a chance to talk about that storyline with everything going on, but we will. 3rd and 3 at the 14. First man through is stopped cold. Scala.
Can't let a man cross your face like that. That's one of the first rules they say. Offensive linemen never let anyone cross your face, and Scala did a good job just to hang on to the ball right there.
John Marvin made the tackle, but he has been holding his forearm since he made the play. Here it is from up top.
He must have hit his shin or something like that and popped his wrist or something like that. Hopefully he'll come out of here okay.
62 in white. He was all over that one.
Yeah, he sure was. He beat that man. He came right across his face and was right in there on the tackle before Scala could hardly even get the ball.
You know, sometimes as we see Marvin being looked at in like the pro level, the college level, that the big hits are celebrated, but I mean, you can't replace a good sure tackle around the ankles.
No, you can't, and especially, I mean, that's not wouldn't consider it a highlight type of hit, but it's a great hit, you know, and it's a tackle for a loss, and it puts them at, 4th down and 5, and Owatonna will probably have to go for it here.
4th and 5 at the 16. John Marvin is being helped off the field. Let's hope he's okay.
He's really moving slow. It could be possibly a break or dislocation. Hopefully he'll be all right.
He made the play. You see him. Yeah, that
looks nasty.
All right. Let's hope he's okay. He's obviously in a lot of pain. One of the starters for that stingy defense that only allows 8 points a game and just over 200 yards a game. 4th and 5 at the 16. Owatonna trying to take advantage of the turnover. Let's see if they can. Nierengarten zings it. Intended for Irving. Threw into coverage. Paul Rosano was there.
Well, he had to go for it right there, and Irvin's one of his favorite receivers. So he, he sat in the pocket, did a good job, and threw it in there to Irvin. There wasn't a lot of room, and just wasn't able to come up with the catch.
Here's Nierengarten trying to thread the needle, coming right at you.
A lot of hands in there. It's a good thing. It's lucky he wasn't picked off, but it might not have been smart to pick it off back there anyways.
Mike Christensen almost got the leftovers. So it'll be Hutchinson ball off the 4th down. 1st and 10 at the 16. Scott Kirkhoff. He's thrown for 18 touchdowns. Chris Davis with that burst of speed across the 20.
That's a good run. Fake to the fullback and give it to the halfback, and a lot of times those people are keen on that halfback or on the fullback, and he goes up in there and they think he's going to get the ball, and it makes it a little bit difficult. Looks like they're going to go no huddle right here.
Savalainen and Joe Butler making the tackle. You're right. 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3. Kirchhoff lofting it up. Good coverage on the defense. Kevin Walter.
That's a really good job by Kevin. And there was a little bit of contact at the end of that. And I think one of the keys, if you're going to have contact, be peeking back at that quarterback to make it look like you didn't mean to do it. It's kind of like when you put your hand in a cookie jar and you don't want your mouth. So you don't want to know that you're really looking back there.
Ryan Caping, the intended receiver. 3rd and 3, ball at the 23-yard line. Kirchhoff gets the play, runs into the huddle. We're reaching the midway point of the 2nd quarter. With Daryl Thompson, I'm Jeff Grayson. Prep Bowl 17 on UPN 9. Second man through, gets the ball, and he's got room. Chris Davis, 1st down.
Well, that's the same play they ran earlier, except they gave it to the halfback, and he stayed behind his fullback that time and picked up the 1st down. Davis is a good, solid runner. Look at it again. Little trap play, they blocked down, and he just did a good job of picking up yards. He's a strong runner, always falls forward.
Looked like Travis Eric was going to the other part of the pile as Davis got through there. Adam Savalainen in on the tackle. 1st and 10, ball at the 30. 8 yards of carry for Chris Davis. Ryan Caping in motion. Kirchhoff rolling, looking across, complete. Matt Polkrobeck.
Good job rolling out by the quarterback there and getting it to Propelbeck. And good job of catching it. It's really difficult a lot of times to throw the ball when you're rolling out. When he's rolling like this, what you want to do is lead the receiver a lot, but you got to throw it right at him, and the ball's still going to carry to him, even though it's not when you're not leading the receiver.
Mike Lundstrom knocked him out of bounds, but it's 17 and a 1st down. Matt Polkrobeck getting the 1st down, and now Hutchinson approaching midfield. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line. Kirchhoff will throw again. Nowhere to go, so he scrambles into Owatonna territory to about the 48-yard line.
That's a good job by Kirchhoff. You know, sometimes you don't feel like there's anything there. Rather than throw a pass that you might regret later, just tuck it on your arm and pick up 5 yards, and we'll take that.
Well, there's a look at John Marvin.
He doesn't look too happy. I think something might really be wrong with him when you have that look of disgust on your face. This season could be over.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, reading his body language. Let's hope we can see him back in the game. But Kirchhoff will throw yet again. Tim Thode near the 35 before he's pushed back by the Huskies.
Kirchhoff and Cody, Kirchhoff and Brody, they must have spent a lot of time in the offseason working together. They seem to have some type of connection, and he's doing a good job of hitting that big tight end over the middle.
David Van Ruden. I'm sorry, I've got my wrong number here. No, that was David Van Ruden. I should trust my instincts. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Another 1st down. Hutchinson moving the chains. Matt Thode is popped right there by Andrew Schweisthal. Looks like Hutchinson is starting to assert themselves here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, I think they're a solid team, you know, and I think they, just like you said earlier, they didn't really get rattled when they got scored on early. They're just coming out here and doing their thing, and now they're you know, pushing the ball up the field.
No gain on the play. The Schweisthal hit. 2nd and 10 at the 36, coming up on 4.5 minutes left in the 1st half. Moving fast when the teams go on the ground like this. Kirchhoff, quick drop. Man open, Ryan Caping across the 30 before he is leveled. David Van Ruden again.
Good tackle by David Van Ruden. It's a good pass, good pass and catch. You know, they do a good job of spreading the ball around and keeping that Owatonna defense guessing.
7 on the play, 3rd and 3. Here's another look. Kind of the West Coast passing, isn't it? Those quick drops, as you also see Ross Moret make a hit.
Yeah, just giving those receivers and running backs an opportunity to make something happen.
They need to get to the 26 for a 1st down. 2nd man, Chris Davis. Looks like he has it. Joe Butler on the tackle.
But Joe Butler is definitely one of the stars on that defense. On the first series, we were talking to Jesse, and he made some big hits out there, and he made a play on that blitz. And right there, you know, he didn't stop from getting the 1st down, but he's a big part of their defense. Right there, he took on the fullback and still got back there to make a tackle on the halfback. And if he hadn't, he might have scored.
1st and 10 at the 25. Chris Davis going behind those holes by the Hutchinson offensive line, like Nick Bockham, Andy Pusick, Todd Dolezal, just to name a few. Kirchhoff will throw across the middle, and it was a little behind Cape, and he dropped it. 2nd and 10.
Hard to catch a ball like that when they throw it behind you on those slants. You're so focused on getting it inside and worried about getting hit from the inside. So when they throw it behind you, it's hard to get yourself to look back. Look at it again. He did have an opportunity to catch it, but, you know, it's difficult. You know, thinking about catching it when looking back is hard.
Kevin Walter on the coverage. It's 2nd and 10, but Hutchinson has seemed to work better on 2nd and 3rd downs. Scott Kirchhoff. He'll throw again. He's thrown for 18 TDs. Man open. Holcroft near the 10-yard line. 1st down, Tigers.
They did a good job. Quarterback Kirchhoff did a good job of being patient in the pocket and waiting for his tight end to open up over the middle and just hit Matt at the right time. Here we look at it again. When you roll out like that, you want your tight end to, you know, come over there and open up late, and then Kirchhoff did a good job of being patient and wait for him. Kirchhoff's 7 for 9 passing for 105 yards in the game.
Oof. Hard to argue with that. Mike Lundstrom and Tony Hamer on the hit. But it's 1st and 10 Tigers at the 11-yard line. Hutchinson can get a 1st and goal without scoring a touchdown. Man in motion, Ryan Caping. Here's the pitch. Chris Davis, he's got a big hole. Touchdown, Hutchinson.
That's just good blocking by Hutchinson right there. There wasn't a, I mean, Caping did a good job of running the ball, and we see the linebacker right there, but Davis just did a good job of being patient, following his blocks, and then exploding at the end to get in for the touchdown. Look at it again here.
As a running back, you got to like it when you see this kind of room.
I like to see that lead block out there knocking people out of the way. So all you got to do is, you know, fight for that last 3 yards. When you got that big head of steam, it's hard to stop any running back.
Good point about that lead block. Matt Thody was the person getting the body out there. Extra point try is good. Kick goes through. Colin Emmons. And it is 13-6. The Tigers, after trailing by 6, now lead by 7. Chris Davis with a touchdown. Back with more on the Buick Dealers scoreboard.
Dad.
Turo was a good luck charm for Owatonna because now Hutchinson is going to work.
That's just a good run by Davis right here. We talked about the lead block out front by Thody, and Davis just exploding into the end zone right here.
Kick goes out of bounds. So we take a look at how Hutchinson went down the field. 12 plays, 84 yards, just over 420 in possession. Davis capped it off. Yeah, when Jesse was up here, Owatonna was doing well. He went downstairs, and Hutchinson has had a couple of nice drives since then.
Oh, I think Owatonna might want to send Jesse back up here and see if they can bring back their good luck charm.
Owatonna will take over. They'll move the ball forward because the kickoff went out of bounds. A good shot there of Chris Davis. You see the determination in his eyes. Ball at the 35-yard line with 2:31 left. Owatonna's got all its timeouts.
Owatonna's got time. They just got to be patient. You know, they missed that field goal. Oh, that might took a little bit of starch out of their shorts, but I think that they just got to be patient and play their game and play the way they did in the first half. You know, run those traps up the middle and try to hit those receivers like they were. You know, Corey Urban and Mike Lundstrom, his favorite receiver. I think they just got to get them back involved in the game.
You see Tony Hamer getting taped. You know, you played on this stuff in college and the pros. You get a lot of bad burns on this stuff, not even from the hits, but just hitting the turf, don't you?
Yeah, you get a lot of burns from the turf. I think, and especially these young guys, they've never practiced on it, never played on it. It's going to be tough, and they're going to be skinned up, but it's only one game. That's their benefit. We had to play on a week after week, and you kind of learn how to roll and protect yourself. But a lot of times when these young guys, when they fall, they just kind of, if you leave that limb on the ground, it'll get scraped up, and you got to learn how to get it out of the way and get something, a shirt sleeve or your shirt or your pants on the ground.
I remember when you were with the Packers and talking to you and some of your teammates, you guys would hold up your arms, your elbows, your forearms, and I mean, some nasty marks on there from that stuff. Yeah,
you can get pretty scraped up on it, and it's very unforgiving. It takes a while, and I still have some scars today from the turf, but thank goodness I'm up here today, and I'm not down there getting skinned up anymore.
You see Brady Rosberg in his 35th and final year at Hutchinson, trying to go out with a state title. Not if Owatonna can help it. Nice running there. Corey Urban. That's what we saw more of in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's that play we're talking about earlier. They kind of bring him around there and lead him up in there and have that guard come over there. And it's been a tough play for Hutchinson to stop. They've stopped it some, but right here, hand off, they bring the guard around. The fullback comes through, and he just does a good job of getting up in there and picking up about 11 or 12 yards.
Jacob Schlueter makes the tackle, but you're right, not before first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for Owatonna. Here's Urban again. There's that surge near midfield. He's driven back at about the 49-yard line.
I have to say that's the exact same play on the other side of the field. And I can see number 50 in there, and I need to look up these numbers a little bit better. But he's doing a fabulous job of getting up in there and creating a way for Urban to get in there. And there he is again, making the block, or trying to make the block, and giving Urban some room.
That's Joe Butler clearing some of the holes. B.J. Urban made the tackle. 5 for Urban. This time it's the other guy, and they faked out the Tigers. Matt Scala well into Hutchinson territory inside the 40.
Well, they do a little bit of everything, this team, and that trap seems to be working real good for them. Owatonna's they're mounting a little comeback here.
Paul Rosenow and Jacob Schlueter on the stop. Coach Rosberg not happy about it. You got to believe there's even more inspiration for them to try to send him out on a winning note.
Yeah, definitely. I'd always be nervous about a coach playing their last game. I was a little nervous last week when the Gophers were playing against Hayden Fry, and Hayden was going to tell them before the game, this is my last game, and those guys are going to come out there and play like it's you know, the longest yard and things like that. Start rocking people out there, but he didn't do that, and I guess that's just out of his respect for the game.
Your alma mater went out with a bang in its season finale.
Well, I think they're really building. I'm excited about you know, the program and what they're doing over there. I think Glenn Mason's doing a great job.
Well, there's a timeout taken. Owatonna has 2 left, Hutch with 1. Hutchinson leading 14-6, but it is a 1st and 10 for Owatonna at the 39-yard line. 1:38 left, and with 2 timeouts, plenty of time.
There's not, there is enough time for them to do something, and Owatonna's been moving the ball. I'd like to see him maybe do a little play action and see if they can hit Mike Lundstrom coming down the seam here.
The Owatonna students hoping for a drive here. They've outrushed the Tigers. Not much there. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but I think that's about it, was Matt Scala.
That was definitely a game tackle. Rosenow and the boys, they were ready for that play, and they stopped him, but they're going to go no huddle right here, and let's see what Owatonna does.
Jeff Dahlman also in there. 2nd and 9, they give him a yard. Nierengarten going for it all. Going deep downfield. Touchdown, Owatonna, Mike Lundstrom.
Great catch by Mike Lundstrom. That was really similar to that catch you saw yesterday by Randy Moss. Beat that receiver and catch the ball in your hands like that. There's nothing that a coach likes to see more than a receiver catching the ball in his hands because he knows it's not going to bounce out. And a good job of beating his man to the end zone.
38 yards, I believe. This ball seemed to just hang up there.
It did hang up there a little bit, but it gave Mike Lundstrom a chance to get under it and beat that receiver. He just did a good job of getting over there.
1:10 left in the half. Owatonna to within 2 and will go for 2. Nierengarten to throw. Lofts it up. Almost a spectacular catch by Mike Lundstrom.
Yeah, that was almost a spectacular catch, but it might have been better if he had reached up with 2 hands. It seemed like he had enough time to get both hands up, but sometimes you just do things when you aren't ready for him out there.
Now here's a look at it. Let's see if he might have been able to. Jacob Schlueter on the coverage. Here's the throw.
I'm looking at it again. It looked like that the defensive back was holding his arm back a little bit. So that was probably actually a good job by the defense, and especially good since he didn't get caught. But Mike almost came up with that ball.
His left hand, his left arm was being held, it looked like, but Lundstrom with the touchdown. It's a 2-point game, and the game Andy Skugman and I did, the 2A game, had a lot of missed conversions. Those can come back to haunt you.
Yeah, they can definitely come back to haunt you now. And look again at the touchdown here. Just a good job of Mike getting under that ball and catching it and getting into the end zone. And that's just what it's all about, you know, bringing his team back in the game, and hopefully this defense will be able to stop him here with a minute 10 left in the second quarter.
Here's Ryan Caping. We've called his number a lot so far, across the 30, near the 35-yard line. The Tigers have a minute 3 to work.
Yeah, minute 3. That was a good job of Ryan bringing that catching that kickoff and running it back up in there. It's hard to find receivers sometimes. They want to run at the back of that wedge, and he did a good job of trusting his blockers and getting up in there and getting the ball out to the 34-yard line.
Andrew Miller on the tackle. Good field position. There's the drive. Owatonna. Wow. 5 plays, 65 yards, a minute 21, and a 38-yard touchdown to cap it off. Kirchhoff hands off to the second man. Chris Davis across the 35 before he's met by the Huskies.
It's like Chris Davis picked that spin move up from Corey Urban. It was a good move. He just picked up about 3 yards.
Jeff Bowers making the tackle. Clock running. We're coming up on 40 seconds left. Good first half.
Can't get much more exciting than this.
I think some people are surprised by Owatonna sticking with them with Hutchinson.
That was the buzz that I heard before the game, that Hutchinson was going to run through him, but Owatonna must have heard that, and they came out to play.
Nothing there. Making the stop, Scott Nisus.
Looks like Hutchinson's going to be happy just to run out the clock and go in the locker room and come out and try to put him away in the second half.
Well, each team with 2 impressive drives. The missed conversion's the difference. 14-12 Hutchinson, and you're right, that's what's going to happen. You see time running out. Well, we played 24 minutes in our Class 4A championship. The #1 ranked Tigers are getting a run here from Owatonna. We've got a ball game after 1 half of play. We'll be going down to Andy Skugman shortly. He has got Jeff Williams, the Owatonna coach. That's who we'll be hearing from. Let's do it. And let's go downstairs. You got it, Andy.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. Coach, you scored early, you scored late. Give me your assessment of the first half.
Well, Hutch is really making it tough for us to run the football. They got a lot of guys in the box, and they're really getting underneath our pads and forcing us to throw the ball a little bit. And we've done that with a little bit more success than we have all year, Andy. So, you know, things are going okay. We seem to be adjusting now to what Hutch is doing, and hopefully we can continue to adjust in the second half.
You consider yourself the underdog. I think a lot of people say Hutchinson is the better team here. How do you tell your kids to get up for this game?
Well, I don't think we have to tell our kids to get up for anything. This is the Prep Bowl, and we're playing the best football we have in a long, long time here in Owatonna. We've been playing great down the stretch, and if we can continue to play our game, you know, we're right in this thing. We're ready to win a football game.
Is there a speech coming up in the locker room?
I'm not very good at those speeches, so we'll get at the blackboard a little bit, try to diagram things up, and a good second half play is so much better than a Rockney halftime speech.
Okay, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, Jeff Williams, his Owatonna team down 14-12 to Hutch at the half. We'll return to the Metrodome and Prep Bowl 17 in just a moment. This is the Northland Ford halftime report. We are at the half of our Class 4A title game. Hutchinson with a 14-12 lead over Owatonna after 2 quarters of play. Well, our next game, the 5A championship game between Woodbury and Champlin Park, getting a lot of publicity. Why? Because the governor-elect is the strength and conditioning coach of Champlin Park. Here is a preview of our upcoming 5A championship matchup. Woodbury made a lot of noise last week, literally and figuratively. The Royals dethroned the 2-time defending state champions from Eden Prairie in the semifinals, snapping the Eagles' 38-game winning streak. Senior Louis Ianni ran for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Woodbury's never been in the playoffs before, let alone the Prep Bowl. Nobody's beaten Eden Prairie in 38 games.
Respect. You got to respect Woodbury now. That's all I can say.
We're in a state championship game. This is what we plan every year. We expect to be there every year, so let's start a new tradition in Woodbury.
At this point in time, we can now say we are #1.
Champlin Park's strength and conditioning coach can't say that yet about his football team. The Rebels defeated Cretin 7-6 in the other 5A semifinal. Senior Kayvon Shear scored the game's only touchdown.
We owe everything to the defense. Our offense didn't really show up tonight, and we're going to have to pick it up if we want to win the state championship.
It's also the Rebels' first Prep Bowl. They're a slight underdog to Woodbury, but their assistant coach may be the X factor. He knows a thing or two about upsets. Andy Skugman, Minnesota 9 Sports. Again, that is Champlin Park, Woodbury, our 5A title game. That's coming up following our 4A matchup. Hutchinson with a 2-point lead over Owatonna at the half. This is the Northland Ford halftime report. It will continue. So will Prep Bowl 17 live from the Metrodome when we come back.
Welcome back. It is the Class 4A championship. We are at halftime. Hutchinson, the #1 team, really, since the start of the season in 4A, leading 14-12 over Owatonna, and I think that might surprise some people. With Darrell Thompson, Jeff Grayson, Owatonna came out fired up.
They did come out fired up. You know, I was looking forward to Hutchinson kind of beating them up a little bit. I got here early. I was on the field, and all I heard was Hutchinson, 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 and to come out, and Owatonna got on them in the first drive and kind of stayed on them, slowed down for a little while, but they finished up the quarter strong, and we're here. You know, 14-12, a couple extra points, and they'd be tied up.
Yep, absolutely. Owatonna comes in 9-4. Hutchinson unbeaten, 13-0, and then you have the angle of Grady Rosberg retiring, and they've gotten most of the publicity coming into this matchup. But Owatonna came out fired up with an impressive scoring drive as we get set to take a look at how they did it.
Yeah, I'm always concerned. You know, the Big Ten, that's a big conference, and that's what Owatonna plays in. They come out of there playing some serious football, and Hutchinson, with their coach retiring, I think that's a special time for them, but Owatonna's ready.
That was the first touchdown of the game. Tim Nierengarten on the keeper, made it 6-0. And then Chris Davis.
Chris Davis just did a good job of following his blocks there and getting in the end zone. He did a lot of good things in the first half.
That was a 21-yard touchdown by Chris Davis. It was 6-0 Owatonna after one, but then Davis went to work again in the second quarter.
He's a good back. You know, you give him some room and some space, and he'll get out there and make something happen. He's got some good blockers out there in front of him, too.
That was the first touchdown, but then Owatonna came back. Going long, Nierengarten for Mike Lundstrom.
Mike Lundstrom just went after that ball. A lot of times receivers, you know, they don't have that burst at the end of the play, and Lundstrom showed that burst right there for a touchdown.
Well, we'll take a look at the numbers here. Let's see, anything jump out at us? Well, rushing yards, Owatonna the advantage. Hutchinson more passing. Not too much difference.
No, not much difference, and even the time of possession kind of evened out. Hutchinson was way back in that, and finishing up with 10 minutes of possession and 14 for Owatonna. That's it kind of evened out, and it shows that on the scoreboard.
Well, Chris Davis with a couple of touchdowns, and you saw how Owatonna did it. Nierengarten ran for one on the sneak, and he threw for one. You were right, Lundstrom didn't give up on that football. This is an interesting game because the momentum has switched both ways. Owatonna came out well, then Hutchinson got it back. Owatonna, even though they're down 2, they seem to get it back at the end of the half.
Yeah, they did. And I think Hutchinson's going to come out in the second half, and I think they're a really confident team. Their coach is playing in his coaching his last game possibly, so I look for them to come out really strong in the second half, and Owatonna do the same thing. It'll be interesting. Grady
Rosberg, 35 years at Hutchinson. His teams won it all in 1983 and 1984, and a fellow former Gopher, Corey Sauter, played quarterback for Hutchinson in the early 90s. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to bring you up to speed on the other action here at Prep Bowl 17 today. Let's take you all the way back to this morning. 9-man Cromwell caps an unbeaten season over Hillcrest Lutheran Academy, 40-22 for the 9-man title. The 1A game is the longest time-wise in Prep Bowl history, 3 hours, 8 minutes. Cook County repeats over Adrian in a rematch, 38-32 in double overtime. Then the 2A game, just like the one we're doing, Darrell, this one went to the wire. Monoman over Bold, and the difference was extra points, 27-26 in what probably will be Ken Bauman's last game at Monoman. Then the 3A game, Foley, which did not win a game last year, is the state champion in 3A. Jackson County Central, second place for the second year in a row. Foley wins that one 21-7. So you're up to date on the action here at Prep Bowl 17 as Hutchinson comes out.
They didn't win any games the year before, and they came back and won. That just goes to show what good coaching and off-season conditioning program can do for a team.
Isn't that amazing? When I first heard that, I couldn't believe it. And Mike Kiefer, the quarterback for Foley, was saying last week at the semifinal, we didn't win a game, and now we're playing for the Prep Bowl. It's just amazing. I mean, the resiliency of young people.
Yeah, it's something special. I think I made a speech down in Albert Lee a couple weeks ago, and their team struggled this year, and I just think that they need to take that to heart. And any team that's struggling, including the Gophers or any team in the NFL, when you're down, that doesn't mean you're out, and there's always next year, and Foley definitely proved that.
Well, teams are getting warmed up on the field. I'll tell you what, I got a couple of announcements from the schools in our next game. Attention Woodbury Royals fans, there will be a short welcome home celebration for the Royals approximately 40 minutes after the presentation of awards at the Woodbury High School gym. And for Champlin Park fans, there will be a welcome home for the Rebel football team about 45 minutes after the 5A championship, and that could be very early in the morning. Please enter the field house at door E5. So for Champlin Park and Woodbury fans, those are some announcements. We'll also say those during our 5A game.
It's going to be a late night tonight. We might have to, the police in Woodbury and Champlin Park, that curfew violation they might have to lift it tonight if they come out. Well, either way, victorious, or if they don't lose, they'll probably have to do something for those kids.
This year's Prep Bowl, Cook County got back in the Prep Bowl, but we have some new blood in the big schools. In 5A, Eden Prairie and Blaine had played 2 years in a row. This year, Woodbury knocked off Eden Prairie, and Champlin Park knocked off Blaine. Some new blood in our next game.
It's kind of good to see that. You don't want to see the same thing every year. Just like if the Packers and the Denver, if they went to the Super Bowl again, people say, I want to see someone else, knock off the big dogs. So it's kind of neat to see the big dogs get knocked off this year. Those big programs that got 150 kids on the varsity. It's kind of neat to see some of the smaller teams and the smaller programs get involved and play for the championship.
What do they say? If you can't run with the big dogs, then stay off the porch?
Yeah. No, they say stay on the porch.
Stay on the porch.
You can't run with the big dogs, just stay on the porch.
Gotcha. I knew I'd mumble that one.
What were you, a big dog or a little dog?
Yeah, I think I was a puppy.
Were you on the porch or under the porch?
Yeah. I'd always look out at the porch to see what the big dogs are up to. It's 14-12. Hutchinson, you're talking about getting some new blood in there. Yeah, Champlin Park, a relatively new school in the state of Minnesota. And Coach Tim Herman's got his Rebels in there. And let's not take any attention away from the Woodbury Royals. I mean, you beat a team with a 38-game winning streak, and you have earned your right to be in the championship as well. Well,
Jesse was in here earlier. They beat Blaine, and, Blaine's been playing for a championship the last 2 years. They definitely deserve to be here. Coach Herman doesn't get enough attention, with the governor-elect being on his staff as a volunteer coach. That kind of throws a little attention away from the team, but the team deserves a lot of attention, and Coach Herman's done a great job.
In that game, we're going to see some fine running backs. Haven Shear, who's got some breakaway speed for Champlin Park, and then Lewis Ianni, who's quietly gotten almost 2,000 yards. He missed most of last year with a broken arm. And he's number 29 for Woodbury. He'll be fun to watch. And then they've got Brad Arndt, kind of more of a fullback type. So some good running backs in that game.
Well, that's what I like to see, good running backs. And I worked with Lewis Ianni a couple years ago at a running back, and I was wondering what happened to him last season. I was reading in the paper a couple of days ago that he had broke his arm, so he had 300 or 400 yards. But I look forward to seeing him run tonight and the other backs. Anytime you get the running back showdown is exciting, especially in high school where passing's a little bit more limited.
He said, Lewis Ianni, that is, that he wanted to come back and make his senior year special after the unfortunate injury last year. And whatever happens, win or lose tonight, he's playing for a state championship, and he's got a lot of people talking about Woodbury and his own running ability. He's fun to watch.
That's exciting. I'd like to see that guy in the maroon and gold next year, too.
Yeah, I'm sure someone named Mason would agree with you. Owatonna will kick. Hutchinson will receive as we get set for the third quarter. Some really good nip and tuck games here tonight and this afternoon. Prep Bowl 17, and we are underway. Jeff Gettle's kick. It's taken by the other Caping, Adam Caping. Jeremy Simon on the tackle, and Hutchinson with a 2-point lead will start it out at the around the 25-yard line, 1st and 10.
That was a good run by Caping. He caught that ball and he tried to hop over that defender. He wasn't successful, but it's just good to see them come out and bring the ball at the 25-yard line, and with some good field position to start out this second half.
Well, Owatonna coach Jeff Williams said no Newt Rockney speeches can inspire more than just drawing up a play on the blackboard. We'll see how they defend the Tigers. Here's Kirchhoff on the option. Chris Davis, and look out, he's explosive. Across the 30, Mike Lundstrom on the tackle.
They didn't show any option in the first half. That's kind of surprising to see, but I think that Hutchinson's a really methodical team. They just kind of play their game. It doesn't matter what happens on this side of the ball, and they come out there and right here does a good job of being patient and wait until the man comes to him and pitching the ball out. And Chris Davis does a good job of picking up 9 yards.
2nd and 1. Good situation for Hutchinson to be in here. They always say that first possession of the second half so important. Kirchhoff still got the ball. He's on the run. He'll keep it across the 35. Ross Moretz made the tackle. Kirchhoff to run the option. He's throwing. He's pitching.
Well, that was the bootleg right there. You see him come out. He faked 2 times over there to Chris Davis. Then he comes out here in the boot, and he doesn't see anybody open. So he does the smartest thing he can do, and that's just tuck the ball under his arm and run it and pick up the first down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Hutchinson started on their own 23. 2 backs behind Kirchhoff. Rolling out. Here he goes again. Same play, other side. Run out of bounds by Mike Lundstrom, but he's past the 45, near the 46-yard line.
Well, Kirchhoff doesn't feel like he needs a pass, and I don't think he does. You know, it might have been a receiver open there, but he said, if I can pick up 9 yards every time on the bootleg, I'll take it. He might have picked up 10 yards. He might have broke the yard marker over there. Look at a replay. A little fake handoff and fake the boot. He sees no one he wants to throw it to, and he just goes out here and picks up about almost 10 yards.
Almost lost the ball, but he kept it. Kevin Walter also there on the play, but I think he got exactly 10 yards. It's 1st and 10. Owatonna taking their first of their 3 timeouts here. Looked like the Huskies weren't sure about how to set up defensively.
Well, it looks like he didn't quite pick up the first down there. Looks like it's 2nd down in inches, which is a great place to be.
We shall see when we come back on the U.S. Bank scoreboard. Right, I think there was a little confusion on the scoreboard as far as the down and distance, because now we have 1st and 10 at the 50, so that must have been 2nd and inches on that preceding play. Matt Thody, the ball carrier. Big hole right there for Ryan Caping.
Great run by Ryan. You know, they're starting to key on Chris Davis a little bit. They faked the handoff to him, and then Matt Thody came in there, and or Chris Caping just did a good job of seeing the hole and hitting the seam and running full speed almost right over that referee.
Mike Lundstrom, Travis Eric make the tackle. Kevin Walter also in there. It's a 1st down, a gain of 13. And it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Here's Davis. They come back with him. He's inside the 30. And he's near a 1st down.
Yeah, they give it to the 2nd man, Davis, coming through there, and he did a good job. You know, they're doing a good job of mixing it up with that Hutchinson offense.
He needed to get to the 27. Here's another look. Third guy through.
Yeah, they definitely mix it up over there. I can see why that Owatonna defense gets a little confused every now and then.
2nd and 1. They'll call it at just inside the 29 at the 28. There's another new face, Matt Thody. We haven't heard that much from Matt. We've called Tim Thody's number on passing, but Matt Thody came in with 12 touchdowns rushing. Andrew Schweisthal makes the tackle.
Matt had a couple good carries earlier in the game. I was calling his name, and he made some good catches. But right now, as we look at it again, he just hits the open seam. I think that Hutchinson's got that Owatonna defense a little bit confused. They're throwing a lot of different looks at him, and that can be confusing, especially at this level.
1st and 10 at the 15. Hutchinson can get a 1st down without scoring. Same ball carrier, Matt Thody, across the 15, maybe 2 yards on the play.
I think that's the good old keep them honest play. They give it to the fullback because you gotta keep giving it to them so they respect you up the middle. So later on, when you try to get outside, you're able to get outside because that defense will stay home and you pitch the ball outside, and hopefully you'll have some room to run out there.
Nearly 5 yards a carry average coming into this game for Thody. They give him a yard. It's 2nd and 9. Kirchhoff hands off to Davis. Slowing him up was Jim Mikeworth, number 75, and that allowed the other Huskies to get in there.
Hutch has had some good success. They've had as many yards running this quarter, 64, as they had in the whole first half.
From up top, Hutchinson, the full house in the backfield.
I like the roof view. Get to see those good splits by that Hutchinson offensive line, making sure that his running backs got a little bit of space in there and giving those linemen some good angles to block those defenders.
Jim Mikeworth, as I said, slowed him down. Hutchinson, 2 out of 3 on third. 3rd and 9. Kirchhoff under pressure. Ball's loose. It's picked up. Who's got it? Owatonna's got it.
Well, that's one thing you got to do. When you get in trouble, you got to protect the ball, and sometimes you got to get down and live to play for another down. And in that situation, Kirchhoff tried to make too much happen.
The Huskies hold. Justin Hagan gets the ball. The Huskies will take over at their own 15. 7:41 left, third quarter. Hutchinson leads 14-12 in the 4A championship. It's a 2-point game, and there have been 2 turnovers by Hutchinson.
There you see it.
Scott Kirchhoff, I think he just lost the ball.
Yeah, he's trying to make a little bit too much happen there. Good run by Corey. He's done a good job. That's that lead play that they like so much in Owatonna, and they got to stick with bread and butter. You got to stick with what works.
Ryan Caping, we've called his number on offense. He made the hit there. They give him 3, 2nd and 7, ball at the 28-yard line. Nierengarten, hands off. That's Matt Scala. And we talk about Corey Urban, 1,379 yards coming in, but Matt Scala right behind him, 1,365. Paul Rosano on the tackle along with Scott Walling.
That's a good set of backs. I'm just thinking Owatonna might want to try something a little bit different here. They're, kind of banging it in there, and they're not. Hutchinson's got the whole line of scrimmage packed. They got everyone in there. That's almost, they've got like 9 men in the box, So it's, I think Owatonna might need to play action and pull it out and do something.
Looks like they're looking at Joe Butler. Nierengarten complete. Well, Darrell, they took your advice. They just found Mike Christensen on the tackle. That's his favorite target through the air, Mike Lundstrom.
Well, it's good to see Nierengarten fake that play action a little bit. Look at it again. Not much of a fake at all, just a 3-step drop, and he looks out there to one of his favorite receivers, Mike Lundstrom. And Mike just does a good job of catching the ball and picking up a first down.
17 receptions, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns. Coming through, this is Matt Scala. Ball was at the 40. He gets near the 45. Looks like they'll give him a 4-yard gain. Ryan Caping, who's starting to make his presence felt on defense. Ryan Caping making the tackle.
That's a good run by Scala. And Owatonna's kind of doing some of the same things Hutchinson's is doing, and that they're mixing it up too, kind of running up the middle, running their trap, and then on their 3rd down, they made a pass. We'll see what they do here.
2nd and 6, ball at the 44. Got those 2 backs right there, and it's Scala with a big hole across midfield into Hutchinson territory.
Caping again on the tackle. Scala's just doing a good job. He sees that hole. He's a north-south runner. He says nothing fancy. He kind of runs like Larry Zonka. He said it's nothing fancy here. Here we look at it again from up top. Just does a good job of following his guard, and his linemen do a good job of blocking downfield. And he runs over the secondary there.
B.J. Irvin also in there on the tackle. Nearly 4 yards of carry for Matt Scala. 1st and 10 at the Hutch 47. Twisting and turning. Scala across the 45. Near the 43. Might have gotten 3 or 4.
Yeah, well, we talked about it earlier. Owatonna could be wearing down the Hutchinson defense a little bit. And I was a little bit pessimistic about their banging it in there, but they banged it in there that time for 4 yards. If you can pick up 4 yards in every running play, you'll be happy with that because the math is on your side.
Kyle McKittrick and Ryan Caping making the tackles. Just under 5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Yeah, you're right, 4 on that one. 2nd and 6 again. They go to Urban. He breaks free near the 40. Looks like it was stopped around the 41, and we could have a face mask.
That's good, solid running. Sometimes when you're up in there trying to make the tackle, you'll go across that face mask by accident. It can be incidental, but they're still going to get you for 5 yards.
Yeah, that's it. Ryan Caping, Mike Christensen making the stop. Yeah, we'll get a look at it here. It happened right at the end of the play.
That's good running by Urban there. He bounced it outside, and Capling.
There it is.
Yeah, he grabbed the face mask, and that just that makes it difficult. That is the first penalty of the game. It's been a well-played game.
And we have played 31.5 minutes of football, and that's the first penalty. Wow, that's a tough one because that didn't look that blatant. It was a good call. It was definitely a face mask, but it goes 15 to the 26-yard line. Nerengart not messing around, but that ball was batted down.
He was open. There was a little bit of penetration there, and I think that can make a quarterback's feet kind of happy. He didn't really get that ball up in the air like he would have liked to, but you got to credit the Hutchinson defense for making that quarterback nervous and not really giving him a lot of time or room to throw.
Jesse Doherty in there. That ball was batted down by Jeff Dahlman.
Jeff Dahlman, great play. You know, that's what they say at the line of scrimmage. If you can't get in there, get your hands up and make it hard for them to pass the ball.
Nerengart handoff. Matt Scala inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Ryan Caping and Matt Theody in on the tackle. And Matt Scala just doing a good job continuing to bang it in there. I think that the ice tub's going to be full after this game.
3rd and 7. Big third down here. Owatonna with an impressive drive. Can they keep it going on 3rd and 7? You see Matt Scala lining up right behind Tim Nerengart. Flag down. I'd have had some movement at the line. Well, we went 31.5 without a penalty, and we've had 2 in the last minute.
Well, they're discussing it down there. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's going to go against Hutch.
Wow, it's right. Offsides.
Well, that breathes a little life in Owatonna. You know, that changes it a lot. It looks like they're going to run a little bootleg right here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Owatonna run maybe an option, or they could run the bootleg again because they've done a good job with it. But this will definitely be interesting what they do here.
Woodbury fans getting ready for the 5A, but we got a long ways to go here. Instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 2. Scala trying to get the 2 yards. He needs to get to about the 16, and he is close.
That's a good run by Scala. There's no denying him there. So it's that Matt Theody and Hutchinson defense in there on the tackle, and just a really solid and good hard running by Scala.
Well, Owatonna, of course, they're saying they've got it. It's right at the 16-yard line. I guess it depends exactly on the spot. If it's not a first down, it's 4th and inches. And here comes the chain gang. 3:33 left. No scoring so far in the 3rd quarter. Hutchinson getting all its points in the 2nd quarter. Owatonna with 6 in the 1st, 6 in the 2nd, and it's a first down. That penalty was big.
Yeah, that hurts. That definitely hurts. But, you know, breathe a little life in Owatonna.
1st and 10, ball at the 16-yard line. Owatonna taking over after the Scott Kirchhoff fumble. And here's Tim Nerengart. He'll keep it on the ground. First man through, Matt Scala. Inside the 20. Inside the 15, I beg your pardon, to about the 13-yard line.
Like Jeffrey Dahlman got him down there. Matt Scala is just, he's definitely their workhorse tonight. They're going to give him the ball and give him an opportunity to win or lose with the ball in his hands. And he's their stud. He's their captain, a senior. And that's the way you like to go out.
Dahlman and Adam Caping. 3 yards on the play. Call it 2nd and 7, ball at the 13-yard line. Go to the ground again. Scala inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. And it's that same player again, Ryan Caping, Adam Caping on the play.
Oh, it's good to see the brothers in there together on a tackle like that. I'm sure their dad likes that. If we look at it again.
You know, those handoffs are so quick. I wonder how much of a burst they can get, but it's obviously working.
Well, I just think their offensive line does a good job of getting out the ball quick. And they run a little trap and bring that guard around, and he pins that linebacker, and he's already in the secondary. He'll pick it up about 7 yards.
Give credit to Hagan, Butler, Ross, Nisus, and Mike Worth and Moret. The offensive line for Owatonna. Tim Nierengarten. Handoff to Scala. He's inside the 5. That's a 1st and goal for Owatonna. They're doing it again. Ryan Caping and Paul Rosano on the tackle, but Matt Scala, he's doing it right now.
Matt Scala, yes he is. Another quick handoff to him up the middle. He does a good job of moving his feet and getting by a couple of tackles there and picking up the 1st down. He's definitely their workhorse. He could barely walk back to the huddle right there. I think they just tell him to play on the way by.
And we haven't seen much of Corey Urban on this drive the last several plays. There's Scala twisting, turning. He did not get in.
Oh, and the more I watch him, the more he's reminding me that Mike Alscott played at Purdue and plays for Tampa Bay. He takes a lick and he absorbs it and twists and turns and just does a really good job of picking up yardage, especially those tough inside yards.
Jesse Doherty and Mike Christensen making the stop. Here comes Corey Urban back into the lineup. There's that bulldozer you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a heck of a back.
He got 4. It's 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Owatonna trying to take the lead on number 1 Hutchinson.
Guess who?
Scala, he's in. Touchdown, Huskies.
Hey, no reason to give the ball to anybody else. Matt Scala got him all the way down there. I have no idea how many carries he had on that drive, but he definitely had at least 6 or 7 of them. He deserved to get the touchdown there.
Here it is. We'll see the blocking.
That's the same play they've been running. They bring that guard over and trap the linebacker, and they bring Matt through there, and he picks up the rest on his own.
He was right on the line. That was close as far as getting over the plane, but nice job. He got in there.
Looks like they're going to go for 2 here.
It's 18-14. Well, 2 will put them up 20-14. They haven't had good luck with conversions. Let's see if they change it. Tim Nierengarten rolling, trying to get around the corner. He hit the pylon. He's in. Wow, and he took a lick on that one.
Oh, he might be a little bit nicked up, but all you got to do is get that ball and touch the pylon, and they're going to call it a touchdown.
Owatonna leads by 6. Tim Nierengarten gets around the corner in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. An upset in the making, but plenty of football left. Same as West Bank scoreboard. Owatonna has taken the lead the old-fashioned way.
Yep, here they give it to Scala, and he gets in the end zone. He's their power back. That was real close, but the ball definitely broke the plane.
An impressive drive. We'll take a look at how they did it in a moment. From the 10-yard line, that is Adam Caping getting up near the 30. Pretty good return for Hutchinson as they begin. Well, they took advantage of the Kirchhoff fumble. 15 plays, 75 yards, and look at the time, 6:44. Matt Scala caps it off, and you're right, you know, it was appropriate he finished it because his running really paved the way.
He carried the ball 11 times on that 15-play drive. I think that they probably don't have enough water over there on that sideline for him.
And remember that penalty, too, one of the rare ones in this game. The Hutchinson penalty that instead of 3rd and 7, they had a 3rd and 2. 1st and 10 at the 30. Kirchhoff on the pitch. Chris Davis, and he stopped. He is stopped called by Andrew Schweisthal.
Great job by Andrew slicing in there and making a play, because that option play, they haven't seen a lot of it tonight here, and we look at the replay. And he did have some room to run, but when you let that linebacker scrape in there and make the tackle like that, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Tony Hamer finished it, but Andrew Schweisthal, number 55, I don't know if you can drive 55, but you can't run on him right now. Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. This will be probably the final play of the 3rd quarter. Kirchhoff to throw. Got a man. He zinged that one in there. Ryan Caping around the 35-yard line. Kevin Walter made the tackle.
That's that same slant play. They didn't have success with it earlier, and Ryan did a good job of running the route that time. And Scott Kirchhoff did a good job of getting the ball to him.
It'll be 3rd and 3 for Hutchinson when we come back for the final 12 minutes. Thompson, Jeff Grayson from the Metrodome, the CarX scoreboard. A surprise. Owatonna leading number 1 Hutchinson 20-14, but plenty of football left. 12 minutes. Chris Davis breaks a tackle, gets past the 40-yard line.
Owatonna stacking that defensive line, and Chris Davis still find a way to pick up yards. Got the first down there, and Hutchinson still moving that ball. This is going to be who can stop who. Both teams,
Yep.
No team has really stopped the other team today. I don't think I've seen the punt around here yet today.
Yep. You're right. Ross Moret, there was that one punt on the that was muffed. That's it.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we had one punt in this game. 1st and 10 at the 40. Davis gets the first down. Here's Kirchhoff. He's rolling. He's a threat to run, and that's what he'll do. He gets out of bounds past the 45-yard line. Running him out of bounds, Scott Nisus.
That was a good decision by Kirchhoff. He really didn't have anybody open there, and rather than make a poor decision and throw it to somebody or have an interception, he decided to tuck it under his arm and pick up 6 yards.
And slowly but surely, the lower bowl is starting to fill up. This game going down to the wire, and we got Woodbury going up against Champlin Park in the finale. 6 yards on the scamper. 2nd and 4. High formation. Chris Davis trying to get outside. He got a great block. Oh my!
Ryan Caping. That's what you call a crackback block. When a receiver comes in there and wipes that guy out like that, that's painful. That's a great block, and that's a good run by Chris Davis.
Number 13, Tony Hamer, just got the hammer from Ryan Caping. Oh my! He's up. He's in the game. He's fine. But wow, was that a block?
It's pretty rare that an offensive player gets to take a shot like that at a defensive player. Defensive guys are always taking shots at us, and I kind of like it when I see a receiver or a running back get the crack on a defensive back when they're not looking.
Well, you mentioned the run. We talked about the block. It was a good run because they're measuring for a first down. It's right at midfield, which is where they needed to get, depending on the spot. 3rd and less than a yard. 3rd and inches.
It really looked like that play was designed to go inside, and Chris just bounced it outside. And with that block that he picked up from Ryan Caping, it was, he was able to get it down there where they have 3rd and inches.
Kirchhoff telling the play. Completed over 50% of his passes, close to 60% coming in, 18 touchdowns. But it's been a ground game kind of night. 3 behind it. First guy through gets the ball. It looks like Matt Thody, and that's who it is. And he gets the first down for Owatonna.
What's that they call on Matt Thody when they get down there where they really need to get some yards? He does a good job for them, and looking at it from the top, he does a good job hitting the seam. And then number 78 for Hutchinson does a good job of giving him some room.
Almost a great catch there. Kirchhoff went up top for Tim Thody. Incomplete. A little Marv Levy no huddle there.
That's a good way to keep them off balance. A lot of games are, predicated around the substitution and who they bring in and out. And you can't do that when they run those plays just like that. You can't get your defense just how you like it. You got to just react to whatever happens.
There's the pass that was incomplete for Tim Thody. Kevin Walter on the coverage. 2nd and 10, ball at the 48. Just under 11 minutes left in the 4A championship game. Kirchhoff. Pass. Oh my, what a hit. Still on his feet is Matt Thody.
Wow, that was a great hit. And then when they stay on his feet, Tim Thody caught that ball, got walloped like that, and did a great job of holding on to the ball, number 1. And not only did he hang on to it, he picked up about 3 more yards after he got crunched.
David Von Ruden made the hit. He may have gotten the worst of it. He got back up. Plenty of blue shirts in there, but Tim Thody, wow. He took a licking and kept on ticking.
I guess so.
I'm sorry, Matt Thody. Got to get my Thody straight. Handoff. No mistaking him. Chris Davis near the 30.
Well, we've called Chris Davis's name a lot tonight. He did a good job of picking this hole and using his feet there to pick up about 6 or 7 yards. He seems like a big back, but he moves his feet really well and picks up some yards. And when it comes time for him to bury his head, we definitely know he can do that.
Justin Hagan on the tackle, but it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Davis listed at 6'2", 210. He has been the horse behind that offensive line. Let's say their names: Brian Gillespie, Nick Bockham, Andy Kosick, Todd Dolezal, John Schmidt. Both offensive lines doing the job. Here he goes again. Inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Looks like he got about 5 yards.
Well, I think both these teams are just trying to pound each other into the ground and see who's standing at the end of this fight. It's kind of like a heavyweight boxing. They're just going to work each other until and see who the last man standing is.
Good old-fashioned football. They give him 4 yards. 2nd and 6. Ball at the 28-yard line. Well, if it works, why change it? Although Hutchinson has mixed it up with some play-action rollout passes, as he'll do here. Kirchhoff, nothing doing this time. He gets away, though. A shoe goes flying into the air. I have never seen that before. I thought it was the ball for a moment. Andrew Sweisthal doing the defensive job to kind of slow that play down. A shoe went flying about 30 feet into the air, and it was Kirchhoff's.
That's amazing. That was a good run by him. I just think that, you know, he did a good job of getting out of there. You know, he was kind of pinned back in there and had a chance to be tackled, and looked like he got back out there past the line of scrimmage.
Sweisthal first forced it, and he got the shoe. And then making the play was Jim Mikeworth finishing it off. It'll be 3rd and 9 when we get things back on the right foot or the left foot. Back in a moment. Hey, scoreboard, we've got a barn burner inside the dome. 3rd and 9, a critical play here. Under pressure. Cross field, Davis on his horse. Inside the 25, he has to get to the 22. It'll be 4th. Well, depending where they mark it, 4th and maybe a yard. It's close.
Well, they had a chance to get him in the backfield, and they just couldn't. Davis did a good job of turning his shoulders, getting up the field, and I'd imagine they'll go for it here again on 4th down. There it is, the pressure. It's a good job of catching the ball and getting by number 40. He didn't even have an opportunity. He just ran by him.
Yeah, and then he showed speed, and then he lowered the head, and kaboom. This is the first 4th down try for the Tigers. And there's a flag down. Who moved first? Hutchinson says Owatonna did. On 4th and 1. Everybody's pointing at each other. We'll see what the ref says.
Wow.
It's against the Huskies. So just as Hutchinson did a similar play in the 3rd quarter, there it is right there.
Yep. Yeah, they're just letting each other back in the game. As they decide they want to be fair, everybody wanted to jump off sides, and we'll see who can come out on top with 7 minutes and 32 seconds left in the game. There's plenty of time, and time for both teams still to score or stop each other if they wanted to ever stop each other today.
Jim Mikeworth got a little anxious. The result is a 1st down. Almost the exact same kind of thing happened when Owatonna had the ball and Hutchinson jumped. 18-yard line. This time it's Thody, Matt Thody, just inside the 15-yard line. He's brought down by Casey Scala. I'm sorry, Joe Butler.
Well, we're getting those Thodies straight, but that was another good carry by him. You know, they give it to him when they want to get those tough yards. They got 2 solid backs. You know, you got 2 backs with over 1,000 yards, and I think that's part of the reason they're here, because there's no one back that they can key on.
Kirchhoff brings it up. There's a 3-yard gain. Ball at the 15-yard line. There's Chris Davis to the 10, inside the 10. He needed to get to the 8 to make it 1st and goal, and I think he has got it, or else it's 3rd and short, depending on the mark. From up top, the bulldozer battering ram.
Good job of the fake in there, and Chris just takes it upfield, and then when he decides to go north-south with it, he does a great job of picking up almost 7 yards when it looked like they should have had him in the backfield.
3rd and 1. Davis approaching 100 yards. More than 5 a carry.
This is the 15th play of this drive. He did a good job of wearing that clock down.
Kirchhoff, whistle blows. We'll have another penalty. Owatonna saying this time Hutchinson moved first.
This will be interesting. It could slow the momentum down a little bit for Hutchinson if the penalty's against them.
It was 3rd and 1, and Owatonna was right. It's against the Tigers. Turnabout is fair play. Ball goes back to the 14-yard line.
Well, this is 4-down territory, so I wouldn't worry about Hutchinson trying to get it all on this play. I think that they can definitely go out there and hand the ball off to one of their running backs and see if he can pick up 3 or 4 yards, and probably do the same thing again on 4th down if they decide to do that.
3rd and 6 at the 14. Owatonna with 4 losses coming in. Hutchinson unbeaten. .5:38 to go. Kirchhoff's got it. He's looking downfield. Touchdown, Tigers! Tim Thody.
Well, that was a great job by Scott Kirchhoff and Matt Thody, just seeing each other and working together and making a good pass and making a play and finishing off that drive. You know, we thought it was a 4-down territory. They didn't need 4 downs. They just needed 1 down.
Well, the Tigers are roaring now. Matt Thody was running a few plays. Tim Thody got the touchdown, and he'll hold on the extra point for the lead. Colin Emmons through the uprights. Hutchinson has taken back the lead with 5.5 minutes left in the 4A championship on the CarX scoreboard. All they can handle, but Hutchinson showing the comeback right here.
Well, Hutchinson just does a good job. You know, Kirchhoff does a good job of rolling out and throwing it to Tim Thody. I'm having trouble with those Thodies too, but a good job. They squibbed this.
That'll be good field position for Owatonna. Near midfield. Travis Eric took it.
A lot of times when you kick the ball on the ground like that, something can happen. It takes funny bounces, and guys kind of let up when they're running down.
Colin Emmons made the tackle. Wow, did Owatonna dominate on that drive. 15 plays, 70 yards, and they used up 7:20 of time. That started late in the 3rd quarter, that scoring drive. Tim Thody capped it off on the pass from Kirchhoff. 1st and 10. A hard hit there. They're trying to strip the ball. The ball carrier, Corey Urban.
Well, we didn't call his name much in the last drive, but it's good to see Corey back and getting the ball again. They probably had to rest Matt Scala a little bit after his 11 or 12 carries in that last drive, but you know, they picked up 5 yards on that play they've been running all day long. You look at it again. Does a good job of following his box and getting up in there and picking up about 6 yards.
Mike Christensen, Jacob Sleater making the stop. Nierengarten, handoff. Flag on the play. Looks like this will be against Owatonna. That time it was Matt Scala, the ball carrier, but might bring it back. Flag just at midfield.
That could be a
face mask. I didn't see it. Oh, that's why I'm up here.
They letting Owatonna back in the game again. You know, that was a good run by Matt Scala about that face mask. That'll give him a 1st down, and they're over the 50-yard line.
It's a huge play.
That hurts. That definitely hurts Hutchinson.
Watch them march this ball up to the 31-yard line.
Oh, that wasn't one of those little brushes on the face mask. That was the actual grab. Yeah.
They called that before on the other one, and I didn't think it was a 15-yarder, but that's how that one was called. That's how this one gets called. 1st and 10 at the 31. Four penalties, 40 yards. Just 1 for 5 on the Owatonna side. Matt Scala to the 20, maybe inside the 20.
Matt Scala on that offensive line. Matt Scala's their workhorse, but Eli Ross, Scott Nunes, Mike Worth, Joe Butler, all those guys need to get their names called because they're giving him some room to run. He's the workhorse and he's a good back, but they really are doing a good job of giving him some space to run in there. Linemen don't get their name mentioned enough, but those guys more than deserve to get their name mentioned on that play.
Lions for both teams, you're right, doing a great job. Ryan Caping made the tackle. We've got a timeout with 4:29 left. Can Owatonna, the upstart, take the lead back from top-ranked Hutchinson? We'll find out in a moment. on their feet, but the Tigers are on their heels a little bit because Owatonna is at the 20 with 1st and 10. Matt Scala, can he get around? He does. Breaks a tackle.
There's absolutely no quit in Matt Scala as he rips up in there for only 2 yards on that carry, but he could have been stopped in the backfield. He still picked up about 2 yards.
Scott Walling and Jacob Schlueter in there on the stop. Coming up on 4 minutes left in the 4A championship. Hutchinson with 1 timeout left. Owatonna with 2. They gave him 2 on the play. It's 2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Nierengarten pitches. Not this time. Corey Urban stopped cold in his tracks by Jesse Doherty.
Good job by the Hutchinson defense of sniffing that out. You know, they were ready for that little play, and I think I've seen that play a lot. They toss it out there and try to outflank them to the short side of the field. We look at it again here. The quick pitch, they just didn't get reached out there. Those linemen are trying to reach them and give their running back an opportunity to get around the end, and Hutchinson wasn't having it.
A 4-yard loss. 3rd and 12 at the 22. Huskies. Nierengarten rolling out, looking for somebody, throws it up. Tough pass to complete into double coverage. Ball was intended for Ross Moret. Mike Christensen right there on the coverage. That was a tough one.
That was tough. I don't think he really had anywhere to throw it. I'm looking at it, you know, up here, and I think we have a better view than the quarterback does, and I don't think he really had an opportunity to throw it to anyone, and there was no room to run it. Just have to take my hat off to that Hutchinson defense of covering the play on all levels.
Rob Donahue is going to kick the field goal. You know, it's funny. I've been so used to everybody going for it on 4th down, it never even crossed my mind.
Well, they got to go for the win here.
This for the lead. 39 yards. It's up. It was accurate, but it didn't have the distance.
Well, that was what, about a 36 or 37-yard field goal.
Yes.
That's a long ways, especially in high school. These kids don't get enough opportunity to really work on that.
I think he held the ball at about the 29, so you add the 10. It's about a 39-yarder.
Just didn't quite have enough oomph in it, you know, and he's feeling a little disappointed, but he can't hang his head. If his defense can hold him here, he might get another opportunity. They haven't had much success holding him yet, but they definitely need to load up the line of scrimmage and come after him here.
3:07 left in the game. Huskies need a stop. Hutchinson just wants another drive like last time to run out the clock. Full house in the backfield. Second man, Davis, across the 25 to about the 27.
Well, we've been calling his name, Chris Davis, all day. You know, it's another good run by him, hitting the seam and picking up a good 6 or 7 yards there.
Just a fantastic game here tonight. Just been fun. 21-20, clock continues to run, which Hutchinson loves. Owatonna with 2 timeouts. Hutchinson trying to move the chain. 7 yards for Davis on that play. Same play. Davis gets outside across the 30. Should be enough for a first down.
That's a good run by Davis. Looks like he might have been able to pick up the first down there, even though there wasn't a lot for the initial hole where the hole was designed to be on that play. He did a good job of bouncing it outside, and looks like they still got 3rd and inches here. So it'll be interesting to see what they call here, but I imagine they'll run right at him like they have been all day long.
Yes, no surprises. Tony Hamer and Joe Butler made the stop as we get a measurement here. 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. And everybody pensive on the Owatonna side. It's either 3rd and inches or 1st and 10.
Well, it looks like it's 3rd and inches because they're using the markers to put the ball back down in the perfect spot. So looks like we're going to have a 2nd down and inches here, huh?
Yeah, it's 3rd. It is 3rd. Yep.
Okay.
3rd and inches. 2:15 left. Hutchinson with this just ground game that has been the story in the 4th quarter. And now we begin. ground. It's loose. Oh, my. Looks like the Tigers recovered, but Owatonna saying they have.
Oh, this will be interesting. Could be an arm wrestle match under there. Whoever's the strongest is going to come out with it.
It's going to Hutchinson. Oh, my. Would that have been something? And let's give credit to Todd Dolezal for recovering it. You know, those linemen, they got to be nimble when the ball's on the ground.
Well, Dolezal, he's a big guy.
Right there, it's loose. Right there. How does he get it?
He must have fell on him and crunched the ball out of there. It looks like that's exactly what he did. And he arm wrestled out there and pulled the ball out of it.
Owatonna wanted that one. 1st and 10 at the 33. Clock running, under 2 minutes in this game. Davis, he didn't get much.
Owatonna calling a timeout, trying to conserve some time here and see if they can hold him here and get the ball back.
They've got 1 timeout left.
Hutchinson giving the ball to Davis. That's work for him all day long. I'd continue with the same thing. Keep giving that ball to Davis and the Thody brothers and make it difficult for Owatonna.
You see there, Davis over 100 yards. Punishing yards, too. He's run over some people.
There's been some punishing backs in here. With Matt Scholl another time and Davis in the backfield. Those linebackers have been had their work cut out for them tonight.
Well, it's 2nd and 8 from the 35. Owatonna has 1 more timeout after this one.
Owatonna's going to have to hold them here if they're going to have any chance to do something. And probably call another timeout and see what they can do on a 3rd down.
2nd and 8 at the 35. Another 1st down may ice it. Caping, big hole. Caping with a gaping hole. That's Ryan this time near the 45. And that could do it.
You got to call it Andy Kosick, Todd Dozalak, John Schmidt, Nick Bockham, Brian Gillespie. That'd be the Hutchinson Tigers offensive line, and they definitely deserve to have their names called out tonight because that was a big hole that Caping ran through tonight.
2nd man got the ball, Ryan Caping. I think they were expecting Davis. And now the clock begins. 1:15 left and ticking. First man through, Matt Thody.
2 hands on the ball at this point in the game. There's enough time. I don't think with the clock in the situation right now, Owatonna can actually win the game unless they fumble the ball.
Yeah. 1:01 left. That's the final timeout by Owatonna. They had a chance a couple plays ago, but remember Todd Dolezal's fumble recovery for wrestling that ball away. That was huge.
Hey, Big Todd might be the player of the game. It might be the whole Hutchinson offensive line. And if Owatonna won, it might have been their offensive line. Both offensive lines have done an outstanding job in the game tonight.
Great game here. Just like it reminds me of our 2A game, a 1-point game, same way. Really, conversions being the only difference. Grady Rosberg trying to go out a winner. 35th year. This is his last game. He'll retire as the Hutchinson coach. Owatonna hoping for a fumble right here.
I can imagine they might go down on 1 knee right here.
Yeah. They can't stop the clock. And it's 2nd down, so a couple knees will do it. Well, it's Caping, and he is drilled by Jeremy Simon, Joe Butler,
and
Andrew Schweisthal at 55.
Andrew Schweisthal really put a big lick on Ryan right there. I mean, a little nervous. I was the Hutchinson coach about calling that play again and giving the Owatonna defense time to smack my men around like that and possibly have the ball pop out.
Yeah. 3rd and 9 at the 46, a half minute. In what could be the end of the last play of Grady Rosberg's high school coaching career. Chris Davis, who else, across midfield, and that's going to do it. I guess that's fitting.
Yeah, that's definitely fitting. Chris Davis, another good run. The offensive line, a big hole for him. And with the coach playing his last game here, I guess he deserved the win tonight.
Hell, it wasn't easy. The final seconds.
Looks like he got the Gatorade bath there.
Grady Rosberg and Hutchinson win the 1998 4A championship.
Well, both teams played a really good game tonight. Both defenses, they really couldn't stop the other team. I think that's kind of what it came down to. No one really stopped the other guy, and whoever scored last is the one who win, and that's why Hutchinson came out on top tonight.
It's a perfect season for the Tigers, 14-0. They win 21-20, but let's give credit to Owatonna. They came in 9-4 and a decided underdog. They gave all they could handle to Owatonna. To Hutchinson. Owatonna with a fantastic performance. So they're shaking hands, and the big schools in 5A are coming onto the field. We're going to get set to go to Andy Skugman. Andy, take it.
Okay, Jeff, thank you very much. Coach, first of all, congratulations. This was a tough game.
It's a tough game. Owatonna played a great game. They were very well prepared. They did a lot of things differently than what we saw on film, and they never made a turnover. They really played a perfect game, and we had a couple turnovers, but fortunately we had enough at the end to do it.
Tell me what this means. 35 years, you go out with another state championship.
It really means a lot. It's just great. We got a great bunch of kids this year. We're not very big. We got a bunch of midgets out there playing, but they're very skillful kids, and they're really great kids. I'm really proud of them.
You have to have a lot of great memories. This one's got to be up there, though, right at the top.
Absolutely. This one is the last one. Absolutely. It's great.
Grady, congratulations on third state championship and a great career.
Thank you.
All right, Grady Rosberg's Hutchinson team 21-20 over Owatonna. They are the champions of Class 4A. We'll return to the Metrodome in just a moment.
His 35-year coaching career, Hutchinson wins a great 4A title game, 21-20. As you see the Tigers celebrating with Darrell Thompson, Jeff Grayson back at the Metrodome. Fantastic game, a lot of great performances.
Yeah, you're right. It was great to see them come out there and play like that tonight in a tight game, 20-21. Both teams deserve to win, but unfortunately only one team can, and it's nice to see a coach that has been a big coach in the community for 35 years come out on top.
It's time for our American Dairy players of the game on offense. Chris Davis from Hutchinson.
Chris did a great job. He got those hard yards for them when they need them tonight, and they show him here going outside. We talked about this run a couple times tonight. He just showed kind of everything he can do right there. A little speed, a little power, and a lot of athletic ability there.
21 carries, 112 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also caught a pass for 8 yards. This was tough on defense to pick one. We picked Paul Rosano from Hutchinson, number 16.
He did a good job. He was just everywhere tonight. 9 solo tackles, 2 assists, and 1 pass breakup. It's just difficult to pick one on defense tonight, but that's who we're going to go with.
We should mention Joe Butler and Andrew Schweisthal from Owatonna. Their defense did a great job. American Dairy Association's players of the game are Paul Rosano and Chris Davis, who will receive certificates and donations sent to Hutchinson High School on behalf of your local dairy farmers who ask. Got milk? We're back with more of Prep Bowl 17 as we get set for 5A. Congratulations to Hutchinson.
Games are 4A and 5A championship game. We have a special guest. I am with Pat Bradley from U.S. Bank. And Pat, thanks first of all for talking to us. Tell us about U.S. Bank's involvement with the State High School League.
Well, U.S. Bank has been a proud partner of the Minnesota State High School League since 1990. And our partnership with the high school